Hi, my name is Kamali Thompson, and I'm a fourth-year medical student in New Jersey, and I'm also a saber fencer for Team USA. A little bit about me: I started fencing when I was in high school, actually, in New Jersey, and after a couple years, I wanted to get better, and I found out that there was a club for minorities in New York City called the Peter Westwick Foundation. So I joined PWF when I was a junior in high school, and I've been with them ever since, just because it's so magnificent and amazing to see all these Black people who look like me who are achieving really high levels of success. And they have pushed me to be where I am today, which is about to finish my medical school and start residency, become a doctor. And I'm a 2021 Olympic hopeful, and that's all thanks to PWF and Aki. So I wanted to answer a couple of questions. The first one is, what does it take to become a successful fencer? It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of discipline, and you have to be really good at dealing with failure, because in fencing and in medical school, actually, you set these goals. I want to do well on a test, or I want to do well in competition, and oftentimes you don't reach your goals. And it doesn't mean that you're not doing the right things. It just means that you just have to start doing them better. You have to start training more. You have to train differently, maybe add something else to your regimen. And it takes having a really strong support system and a coach like Aki, who tells me, you're doing great, but you need to do a little bit better in these areas to be able to be the best fencer that you can. And more importantly, that process takes time. So it is not something that happens overnight. It takes 10,000 hours to be an expert in something. That's approximately 10 years. So it takes a really long time to become the best in the country and the best in the world. And if you can stick it out and you can push through all those failures, then that is definitely the first step to becoming successful. How much do you practice? It varies based on what your goal is. At this point, I am on the U.S. national team. I'm fourth in the country. So I'm practicing twice a day fencing, and I'm also doing a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of cardio. I work with a sports psychologist, because your mind is just as important as your body. So I do at least 2 things a day. And if there's time for a third thing, like a little bit of stretching, a little bit of yoga, then I'll throw that in there if I need it. And most important thing is recovery, because you can keep pushing, but you will get burnt out. So I'm very active for 6 days of the week, and the last day on Sunday, recovery, and I'm not doing anything else. And lastly, what do you recommend for a girl to become a fencer? I would say to all women out there, you don't have to let anybody stop you from becoming an athlete. More women need to be athletes, and more women need to be in fencing. So all you have to do is pick up a saber, epee, or foil. Those are the 3 weapons. So I would say, it can be really scary and nervous if you don't have any athletic experience to start something new. I used to be a dancer, and then I transitioned into fencing. But if you're interested and something excites you, then just go for it. If you have a gym class that is really interesting to you, and there's a sport that sticks out, then see if you can join the team, or see if you can join a club so you can get better at it. And once you get better and you decide that you want to keep going with it, see how you can keep rising up and see how you can get more experience, and make sure you find a coach who's very supportive of you and can help guide you to become the best that you can be. I am a Team USA fencer, a 2020 Olympic hopeful.
At 28 years old, Kamali Thompson is making her mark in the field of fencing and studying to be an orthopedic surgeon. So you were fencing and in med school simultaneously?
Yes. So I started fencing internationally in medical school, which is nuts.
Which do you enjoy more, fencing or medicine?
Oh, it's not the same. They both light up a different kind of fire for me,
Thompson grew up in Teaneck, New Jersey. As a child, she was passionate about dance until one day a chance encounter changed her life.
I was walking with my mom to the dance room, and we passed the cafeteria that had a fencing demonstration going on. So my high school coach convinced my mom that fencing would be a really great way to get a college scholarship, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Way to go, Mom.
Yeah.
Thompson signed up for fencing classes a few months later, and in 2008, she was recruited to fence for Temple University. So we fenced in college, and that wasn't enough. You decided at some point, oh, I'd like to be a doctor.
Yeah, so I had always wanted to be a doctor since I was like 3 or 4-ish years old.
After graduating with honors in 2012, Thompson went on to Rutgers Medical School. She never gave up fencing competitively, becoming a U.S. national champion. Her teammates gave her a special nickname.
So a lot of people call me the doctor now.
That's a cool nickname.
I mean, it is pretty cool.
So if someone is around while you're fencing and they get hurt, you can jump down there and stitch them back up, too.
I mean, yeah, I could.
In her second year of medical school, Thompson started training for the 2016 Olympics, but just missed qualifying. This time around, she's taken a year off from medical school to focus on training. She's now working as a research fellow in orthopedic surgery at NYU as she pursues her dream of the Summer Games in Tokyo. Someone told me that you're number 3 in the country.
Yep, a little birdie told you that.
Little birdie told me you're number 3.
This is the highest I've ever been ranked. This is amazing.
But what does it mean to be sitting here as I won't even say an Olympic hopeful, as an Olympic probable?
I like that. It feels good.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you did.
Hey, come on, man. I think you might be ready for Tokyo.
Yeah?
You might be. Kids who are watching, especially watching your story, what do you want them to take away from what you've done so far?
So I want kids to try new things, you know, don't stick to what everyone else is doing, try to do something different, because the places that you can go, I've been to 22 different countries, most of which I would have never gone to on my own accord, you know, so I feel like when you step outside your comfort zone and your box, you have so many more opportunities, so just try something new.
Kamali has 3 more competitions left before she finds out if she makes the 2020 Olympic team.